Don't box. Don't do MMA. You are going to don't play football. You are going to give yourself brain damage. It is going to happen. If you know, I get it. A lot of people played football in high school. Okay, then they grow up. Don't keep playing it. Okay, if you don't make it in the NFL, if you don't make it on a college team, like, just give up. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not for everyone, and you are going to give yourself brain damage. Okay, you already have. But like, you know, if you already have, there's nothing you can do about it. That doesn't mean that you should give yourself more brain damage. Okay, so give it up. Don't do it. Okay, don't get punched in the face. Stop getting punched in the face. It's dumb. It's not a good idea. Okay, it just isn't. And no, it's not gonna, like, make you more prepared in a street fight. Not that should really fucking matter. Cause, like, yeah, okay, great. It means I'm marginally more likely to win in a street fight. Great. Okay, but not really. Because if you get sucker punched, okay, it's going to daze you. Okay, no matter what. You know, you're not just immune from it because you gave yourself a bunch of fucking brain damage already. Like, no. The best way to be prepared for a street fight is to be armed, okay? Unfortunately. It's not to fucking hit yourself in the head over and over again, dumbass. It's to fucking shoot the motherfucker. You know, that's it.
It just makes you less fragile. It makes you live in the moment. You know, you're not worried
makes
about
you less fragile
right now. So, next, family. Make sure you.
I would say that people with brain damage are more fragile. Okay, that's why I found that funny. We are now going to watch Jimmy Talks, and this is his message to disaffected Zoomers.
Jimmy Talks. So I wanted to put this video out there and do something a
Jimmy.
little bit different today.
All right.
Usually, we all look at the decline, and that's what I talk about, and we look at the absolute failure of the U.S. economy and the world economy, and the culture, and the clown world politics, and frankly, it can get...
Oh, yeah, he's upset right now. He's upset. This guy, for anybody that doesn't remember, which I can't blame you, this person, Jimmy Talks, he's recently, he's been a big proponent of investing in gold and silver. Okay, which, if you didn't know, okay, hopefully he's been putting more of his money in gold, but let's be real, okay, he probably was hopping on that. He was huffing that silver copium, bruh. Yeah, man. Look, I'm just saying, it's like I always say, okay, speculative assets like that. People don't think of gold and silver like a speculative thing, okay, except it is. Okay, it is. Let me explain. Okay, people see gold and silver as this concrete, concrete security of value. Okay, it's not. People speculate on the price of gold and silver similarly to how they do a company. Okay. That being said, everything I've said before about gold and silver is true. Okay, it is more reliable. Okay, it is a safer bet. But my point is, it's still a bet. Okay, and you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose because you're the little guy. You're the sheep. Do you understand? You're the bottom of the barrel. Okay, so when, take note. When people are telling you to invest in gold and silver, it's probably about to fucking crash. Okay, now that being said, I didn't even really see this coming because the dollar value has been plummeting. And when the dollar go down, gold, silver go up. Okay, dollar go down, number go up. Okay, that's what I was thinking. But, like, I'm a dumbass. Okay, the fact of the matter is, because these precious metals are speculative assets, okay, as in people speculate on the value of them overall, sometimes the price of these metals will inflate. They'll become artificially inflated. Okay, and eventually the market will correct itself. That just so happened to be like a few days ago. Okay, so all that is to say, JimmyTalks is on suicide watch right now. Okay, everybody call him, make sure he's okay. You know, he's not doing well. His investments are not working out.
For everybody. And it's easy to get blackpilled. It's easy to just look at everything and be like, yep, we're finished, which is kind of true. But that's not the whole story. If you stay in that mindset for too long, you just become useless. And honestly, you just become exactly what the system wants you to be, which is demoralized, inactive, and miserable.
He's coping.
So, in this video, I want to offer you all a reminder. You can call it a white pill, you can call it hope pill, or a reality check, whatever. You know, this is for everybody who has been saying, I feel like the channel is too blackpilling Jimmy, everything is too negative. Let's just get back to the basics here, and let's reclaim our own lives before anything else. And, you know,
okay.
So if this stuff applies to you, then great. But first things first.
I mean, well, look, life is black pilling, okay? Life is doom pilling or whatever. Like, you know, you guys say this constantly, and, you know, it's part of your commentary that I can't really disagree with, especially at this point. You know, maybe if Kamala had won and she was girl bossing the military and killing Palestinians in a girl boss way, then maybe I could, you know, be more on my cope. Okay, but the reason I've been so doomer these past few months is because it's just impossible not to be. It is. Anyway.
This is non-negotiable. You have to stop poisoning your own brain. Let's talk about corn. It is fake sex. Do not indulge in it. I know it's free. I know it's everywhere, but it is absolute poison. When you watch that stuff, you are training your brain to be a spectator in somebody else's sport, so to say. You are literally watching other people engage in the most primal human act while you sit there alone. It's weird when you think about it that way. It kills your drive. It warps your view of how things should be. And it drains your energy that you should be using on yourself. It's a weapon that's used against you. Just cut it out, okay?
So, I don't really like to talk about my sex life on the internet, okay? However, I have been an enjoyer of pornography in the past, especially in my teenage years, okay? And, you know, not to brag or anything, but I've cut it out of my life, and, you know, that was my personal choice. But I would never say that it really became problematic for me. And the reason why is because I already had an unhealthy view of women before I started watching porn, and also even after I was like done with it. Okay, I still, because I grew up in America. And in America, what are women? Okay, women are objects of desire. They're trophies. Okay, women are, but these ideas about women are reinforced by pornography, sure. But like I already had this negative perception of women. But anyway, what JimmyTalks here is saying is not any of that woke shit. Okay, he's saying that like you're a cuck or whatever if you watch porn, which is just fucking stupid. Okay, it's just dumb. Like if I watch an action movie, does that, like, what my point is he's correct. Pornography is theater. Okay, it's like a movie. It's like actors and actresses. Okay, that's what it is. It's mostly fake. Okay, and this is a problem because it makes you a cuck. Okay, but if you watch like action movies and shit, and they're like blasting each other, like, my point is it's for entertainment. Okay, that's all it is. People are just occupying their time, fulfilling their desires, and you know, as long as it doesn't become an unhealthy obsession, or as long as you don't start to believe that it is real, like pornography is real, you know, it's not really problematic. Okay, it's like I always say, moderation is key. Okay, people drink alcohol, and I don't have a problem with that, as long as they are not alcoholics. It's not a problem. Okay, gambling is bad. Okay, still though, I think it's fine. Okay, as long as you aren't gambling your life savings, okay, gambling way too much money, it's fine. Okay. The stock market is gambling. I'm still fine with people investing. I don't think that is a problem. I'm not going to tell you, definitely don't do that. I will tell people, that it's gambling. Okay, I will tell them that because words have meaning, and you need to understand what investing in the stock market is, and in various other assets. Okay, you need to understand that it's gambling. Okay, for the express purpose of you don't put too much in, more than you're willing to lose. Okay, so like, you can't just make these claims that like something is the most extreme. It's like, no, plenty of people consume pornography, men and women, and it's not destructive to their lives. It's not destructive to other people's lives. And if you want to make the claim that it is, then make that argument. Okay, but don't just say like it's because you're a cuck and that's why. Like, no, I'm not a fucking cuck if I watch pornography, dumbass. I'm a cuck if I watch cuck porn. Okay, and then I enjoy that. Okay, that's being a cuck. By watching porn is like watching cuck porn. Okay, do you understand? Anyway, before I move on, though, I do want to mention that the porn industry is bad as a whole, but it's not because of the consumers. Okay, people that consume porn, I don't think they're doing anything wrong. I think it's fine. Okay, as long as you aren't, again, as long as it doesn't become unhealthy and you go too far. Right? People, we point and we laugh at people that are like gooners or whatever, but like, people kind of destroy their lives with this. Okay, they spiral. Okay, and most people's response to that when they hear a story like that is to laugh or be like weirded out, like, oh, that's gross, but like, it's serious. People fucking ruin their lives over this. It's unfortunate. Okay, it shouldn't happen. But anyway, that's not the biggest problem with porn. Okay, because that's a minutia of and I don't have like statistics in front of me for it, but that is very few cases. The problem with the porn industry is that it is exploitative to the actors and actresses, specifically the actresses. Okay, now, I don't want to sweep male porn stars under the rug, right? They get treated like shit by the industry too. But I think women have it worse. I think that they are more underpaid. I think they are more routinely sex trafficked as well. So, anyway. That's all I really have to say about that.
The same goes for celebrities. They are bad to idolize. These people are not your friends, and they certainly aren't role models. They're just paid actors, literally and figuratively. They exist to just push a narrative, like we all just seen at the Grammys when, like, Bad Bunny and Billie Eilish and some other of the less heavy-handed intellectuals, that's sarcasm, push their own little agenda, right? Like, oh, ICE is bad and stuff. It's like, well, why the fuck do I care what you think? You don't know anything, These people exist to push a narrative or to just sell you a lifestyle that's fundamentally empty. Don't look at them, don't watch them. They're just people, and they fart and they shit, just like you, and they've done embarrassing things in their life as well. There are people with way more problems and darker secrets than you could ever imagine. We're seeing this all with the Epstein file stuff. Speaking of the Epstein files, people have been asking me, hey, Jimmy, what's your opinion on that?
I sort of agree with you about this, but you're glossing over the utility of celebrities. Okay, celebrities do sway people. People look up to celebrities. You're not gonna change that for everyone, man. Okay, like, it's not gonna happen. Like, you can tell your audience, don't idolize celebrities. Like, okay, dumbass. Guess what? They're still gonna idolize celebrities. Okay, that's what people do. Okay, they want role models. They want people to look up to. So, and this isn't like inherently problematic. This isn't like a terrible thing. Like, yeah, we should have role models. We should have good role models. Okay, good role models. Good people to look up to. That's the problem. It's not that, like, it's bad to have, like, heroes and to have celebrities, right? We call them celebrities in our society. Actors, actresses. But, like, it's not inherently a bad thing. Okay? And, actors, they push an agenda, in Hollywood. A lot of times it seems liberal, it seems left-wing. Okay, it's mostly liberal. And not very conservative. Okay, there's a reason for that, and it's because your ideas about racial purity, ethnic purity, are incredibly unpopular and unpalatable to the broader swath of the American population. Okay, people are not receptive to, bigoted beliefs like that. Okay, race realism. Yeah, people don't like that. They don't like that. They're still not there yet. You guys are living in a fantasy land. Okay, so, instead of saying what you're saying here, actually, well, I guess this is probably the best thing for you to say. If I were you, I probably just wouldn't bring this up. It's kind of stupid. Okay, let's be so for real, bro.
Video on that. I may or may not make a video on that. Honestly, my opinion is just like, yeah, we already do this stuff. It's not really too shocking,
Exactly.
So, yeah, I might do a video because people will ask for it.
Your audience doesn't care about this.
About numbing yourself, let's talk about alcohol too. Alcohol just numbs your feelings, so you shouldn't be getting drunk nonstop. I'm not saying you can't have a beer with your friends every so often, but if you're one of the people that's drinking to like escape the reality of the world, you're just losing. You're not going to make it, just straight up. The regime wants you sedated, and you sedate yourself when you do that. The regime would really like.
So this is interesting. This is what the Bolsheviks said, and I somewhat agree with it. There's a reason why alcohol is permitted in our society, but other mind-altering substances are not. And it's not because alcohol is less dangerous. Yeah, that you're fucking stupid if you think that. Okay, sorry. But like other psychoactive substances are significantly less harmful to your body than alcohol is. Fucking like hardcore hallucinogens are like less damaging to your body. Okay, fucking LSD and psilocybin. These are chemicals that literally do less harm, physiological harm to your body than alcohol will. Alcohol will destroy your liver. It will destroy your brain. It's bad. Okay, it'll do it slowly over time, and you won't notice. Okay, if you drink every day, you will turn into a shell of your former self. Okay, it's horrifying. By some miracle, many people do recover from alcoholism. It is possible. But the best thing to do is to just never develop it in the first place. Okay, so when it comes to drinking, I agree with him that, like all things, moderation is key. A beer with your friend is not that big a deal. Sure. But just be careful. Be conscious. Be conscious of every sip, every drink that you take. Okay. Every 1.5 ounces is what I go by. Okay. Count your drinks. Count them. And also don't ever leave them on the table if you're out in public. Don't get Bill Cosby'd, all right?
If you're
all right, y'all.
Drunk and distracted from everything that's going on. So a sober mind is much more dangerous, and it's dangerous to them because it's a sharp mind. So don't hand them your agency just because you want to feel good for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him about this. Okay, like people like this, he might not know about this, or he might, I don't know. But the Bolsheviks, they said this bar for bar. Okay, well, actually, they were a little more extreme than him and me. Okay, which is the Bolsheviks said we should abstain from alcohol completely until the revolution is over. Okay, because the Bolsheviks said that the elites, the czars, the czarist, they were using alcohol as a tool to sedate the public, which is true. They were. That's why they manufactured all of it. They set the prices. Okay, at times they kept the prices artificially low, right? During other times they kept them artificially high to increase revenue. But during times of unrest, alcohol was very accessible to Russian people. Okay, personally, I say, I think that the revolution is coming no matter what. Okay, Marx, he said that the revolution was inevitable, and that workers of the world would unite. It was only a matter of time. And I agree with him about that. So, have a few drinks, okay? Don't be an alcoholic, but have a few drinks, you'll be fine. Okay, whatever. Wait, YOLO. Okay, you only live once.
Next, the trap of consumerism. You don't always need to buy something to make yourself feel better. We have been raised in a system that has thrown an ad at your face ever since you came out of the womb. It's kind of crazy. It just tells us that happiness is one purchase away. I'll tell you as a man now, you don't need happiness. You need to find satisfaction and fulfillment, like accomplishing your goals. Happiness, that is for women and children. Like, I'm just not happy. Yeah, you're focused on the wrong things. But anyways, buying products not gonna make you happy. If, buying those new shoes or
I hate this shit. I hate like the above it all attitude. Like, oh, happiness is fake. Happiness isn't real. No, man, it's not fake. It's not. Yeah, buying things won't make you happy. Obviously, real happiness is what you were alluding to a second ago. Okay, which is real happiness is your family. It's your friends. It's the relationships you have. It's the little things as well. That's what it is. Okay, that's what happiness is. And all of the other bullshit is nothing. Okay, happiness is your relationships. It's also your passion, right? Your hobbies. Okay. Your children, your partner, your hobbies, your work, even. Maybe not for most people, but in this society, anyway. But yeah, that's what happiness is. Okay, happiness is real, bro. I believe anyone can get it. Okay, you can do it. It's very difficult in our society. Our society is designed to keep people unhappy, in fact, unsatisfied, because that's what keeps them buying. That's what keeps people chasing the materials, is dissatisfaction. Okay, so that's what all of this is designed around. We need a permanent underclass, all right, that is constantly consuming and chasing the dream. Okay, and then you need people at the top of the society to keep this structure upheld. Okay, by design. And then you also need an enforcement mechanism, which is the police, okay, and the intelligentsia.
Tech gadget, I don't think people are really like that in my audience, but maybe if you are, whatever, or like you have to buy a brand name jacket or something like that, and then suddenly your life will get better. That's all a lie. Most of our lives.
No, that's true. A brand name jacket will make your life better. Okay, it will.
A fleeting level of happiness. It's
I'm telling you.
Consume product and then get excited for the next.
I got one on. I got that. Look at me. I got that shit on.
But that level of happiness just won't last. Maybe like a day or a week it will, but then you're back to feeling empty. So consuming product is just not going to make you happy. I've gone like days without spending $1. Unless you count putting gas in your car, which I don't, because it's just kind of necessary to do so. So I get to work and get to the gym. Buying groceries, shit like that doesn't count. But beyond the essentials, just try not to spend all your money. If you want to buy stuff with your money, I'd recommend getting assets or saving for it. There's a serious power in real.
Yeah, bro. I think if anybody that's ever gone to college knows what I mean. That like $10 a month, you can make it work. Okay, it ain't, especially if you got that card, if you got the food card. Okay, then it's a breeze. I mean, shit, $0 a month then. And of course, that's not including all the immense amount of debt that you're going into while you're away at college. But, yeah, I mean, I don't really think that's much of a brag. Okay, unfortunately. And just like, I want everybody to stop for a moment and think about how insane that is. Like that's even a brag to begin with. It's like, yeah, I spent no money on myself. Yeah, I got myself nothing. Like, do you know how sad that is, man? Like, life is already hard enough in this country. Like, I know that, like, you know, buying little things, it's not gonna, you know, make your life way better. But, like, we used to be a country where everybody could buy treats, you know? We used to be a country where everybody could get their treats. And now, look at us. Oh, I didn't spend any money this week. Good for you. Great. Hooray. Everybody stand up and clap. Everybody clap for him.
To be content. It just breaks the cycle. It starves the advertisement beast that wants to rip your wallet away from you. Speaking of the beast, let's look at where most of these ads come from.
My point is that what he was saying, it's peasant shit, okay? This man is in the peasant mindset. Me lord, I did not spend any dollars this week, me lord. Thank you.
Social media and the internet. Straight up, the internet is fake. Please do not let your mind get warped by what people post online as normal. You are looking at a highlight reel of someone else's life while you compare it to the behind-the-scenes footage of your own. It's not a fair comparison. You can see.
Yeah, I say this a lot too. Okay, the internet is fake. You know, people will show you the best parts of their life. Obviously, that much is obvious. I mean, think about what you post on social media. Okay, you probably post your birthday party, your Christmas party, the other party, you went to the club, okay, like, that's what you post on your story. That's what you post on Instagram, or like you're with your family, everybody's happy, you know, that sort of thing. Okay, real life isn't like that. Real life is messy. Real life is like, butting heads with others, okay, that's what it's like. Okay, but it never seems that way online. But that's not really why the internet is fake, okay? The reason the internet is fake is because of all the bots now. All of the bots. All of the bots that are saying racist shit. And, like, normalizing racism. That's the part that's the more problematic fake part of the internet to me.
When you see someone who posts flashy cars and nice vacations, and it looks like they're winning, but, you know, you might know some of these people personally, and they're just drowning in debt, and they don't actually have anything. Their net worth is in the negative. They don't even own assets. They have leased cars. They don't have a food storage in case shit goes fucking haywire in the off chance that it does, which is always possible. That matters way more. You know, these people will have designer clothes, but they don't have a little bit of extra water storage. You know, newest iPhone, but no guns and no ammo. Absolutely insane. Also, when it comes to the internet, it's not just people flexing. You'll see some of the most deranged, like, retards and the most schizophrenic people ever. So just be aware of that. You know, don't just believe anything you see on the internet. But you have to ask yourself. I always tell you people to get prepared. I even made a video on prepping. You have to ask yourself, how surface level is life to people if they don't have the normal stuff squared away first? So, like, having food storage and water storage and some kind of generator, whether it's gas or electric, and some self-defense and some clothes for the wintertime and clothes for the summertime, and maybe an extra uniform in the car at work. That's something really simple. How are they going to manage life if they don't have normal stuff squared away? You know, the internet's fucking fake. If the grid goes down tomorrow or the supply chain breaks, all this flexing or what have you on Instagram isn't worth a thing. They're probably just going to get, like, beat up with a stick, and some guy's going to steal
Yeah, well, if the fucking global economy collapses, then yeah, everything is going to suck, okay? And I don't want to be alive anyway, so yeah, to all the preppers, okay, if you guys want to survive the apocalypse, cool. Cool, good for you, okay? Me personally, I think I'll just die. I think that's what I'll do. Okay. In all seriousness, you know, having a stock of non-perishables, it's not a bad idea. Okay, especially as weather events become more volatile, right? You could lose power for days. You know, you could get stuck in your home for days. It could happen. Let me put it to you this way, like it is snowing all over the southern United States. Think about that. Think about that. That shit is insane. And it happened last year too, and it's gonna keep happening. Okay? These anomalous weather events are gonna become more frequent. Right? You could get snowed into your home even if you've never fucking seen snow in your life. It could happen. It could happen to you. Okay, so stock up on those things, you know. basically what I'm saying is be prepared to last a few days. Okay, have a few days of water on hand. You know, if I'm not mistaken, I think you need at least a gallon a day per person. Okay, so it's kind of a lot of fucking water if you have a big family. But like, get a few days of water ready, because you may lose power. You may not be able to leave for a week. Okay, as insane as that sounds, that's the way things are going. But all the people that like build bunkers and they have like 6 months of food and water, like that's crazy. That's delusion. Okay, no, okay, have fun surviving the fucking apocalypse. Cool. You'll live for 6 months longer than I will. Yippee. Okay, and then you'll have to go out and scavenge just like everyone else. That's why I say I don't want to survive the apocalypse. Okay, I don't want to live after. I'll give it my best shot. Okay, I will. But like, I ain't gonna plan for it like I'm gonna succeed. Okay, nah. I like contemporary society and the luxuries that come along with it way too much to humor the idea that like, oh, I should prepare for the apocalypse. Like no, you know, the apocalypse is game over scenario for me. Okay, I'm, you know, good luck to everyone else. That's all I got.
It's actually worth less than 0 because these people have no survival skills. So yeah, don't take social media too seriously. And I know this is actually kind of hard because we are actually so deeply entrenched in social media in our society, especially Zoomers. We grew up with it, Generation Alpha as well. It's always in our pockets. Everybody has a phone. It's just radiating and destroying your balls and ruining the testosterone radiation or something like that.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, try not to focus on that shit too much. Seriously, try not to. So you have to humanize the world again. Everybody wakes up and they feel groggy in bed sometimes. Everyone farts, everyone shits, everyone sweats and gets stinky armpits. Everyone has embarrassing moments, but that stuff's never posted online. You know, we've created this digital avatar society where everyone pretends to be perfect. That stuff is a facade. So this applies to dating. There is women who will post selfies online, making them look like an 8 with all the filters and the angles and the lighting, but all that is just production value. Then in real life, they're a frumpy 4. Not to just like needlessly shit on women, but that's just an example for you in real life. The digital image is not the reality. Do not fall in love with a profile.
Yeah, because well, you are though, because you could say the same shit about men. You can. And men do this as well, okay? It's all about lighting. Like, look at me. Look at me. My lighting sucks. Okay, I'm backlit. I'm fucking backlit right now. Okay, but I like my stream setup, okay? I like it like this. To me, I want to feel personal, okay? And that's how I feel like my stream looks. That's how I feel like it's set up. Okay. I'm open to suggestions, that being said. And I have been thinking about the lighting more recently. But anyway. Like, yeah, men, they do this as well. Okay. It's not crazy. Okay, people try to look better on the internet. That's it. Okay, don't be intimidated by them. Because you're right, everybody is just a person. Okay, and people are not things to be scared of. People are just like you. Right? They have the same insecurities, they have the same problems. They have the same issues. Okay, so be nice to people. And also, you know, don't be scared of them because they're hot or whatever. Like, you know, being scared of hot people that's the dumbest fucking thing. That's the dumb. I mean, I guess I get it, but like, dude, they're just. First of all, nobody really. I could be wrong about this, but I don't think hot people most of the time recognize that they are hot. Okay, they don't realize. Okay, they think they're like normal. Okay, and that's because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, so just go talk to him. Go talk to him. Shoot your shot. You never know.
Think everyone else is dating supermodels, but you're not, because they aren't. A lot of this shit is fake. The internet is fake. So with all that out of the way, I just want to say, you know, how do we combat this? How do we build real life? First off, I would say go to the gym. This is mandatory. It's not just like bro advice. Just go to the gym, bro. You know, if you don't go to the gym, then just do something at home. but it's actually good for you. You need to work your body. This is how humans have been since the dawn of time. Just be physical. We are men. We're designed to move. We're designed to lift. All humans, we're designed to struggle against gravity. Personally, I recommend weightlifting and cardio. That's just what I do. That's what I like. There is something spiritual, though, about lifting a heavy piece of iron, in my opinion. It clears a lot of mental fog, and it teaches you that effort leads to results, which is a lesson the modern world tries to hide from you, because you have people who are trying to lose weight, but they won't just eat less. Calories in, calories out. They'd rather inject themselves with a shot that makes them very, very sick. We don't know the long-term ramifications of this either. Talking about GLP-1, that's the stuff like Ozempic and all that. It's really, really harsh. Stay away from that stuff. But
yeah. Have you seen the people on Ozempic? Oh my god. They all have the same kind of look to them. You know what I mean? At least Chris Christie didn't do it. Okay, for as much shit as I give Chris Christie. Wait, actually, how do you? Oh yeah, that is how you say it. Yeah, this guy, look, every other GOP member that's like a big, round man. Okay, they all got on Ozempic. But this guy, he's all natural, okay, and I respect the fuck out of that. Okay, that's the one thing I respect about him. But yeah, definitely don't inject yourself with that shit. Don't do that. Don't get on Ozempic. That's my message to everybody. Okay, don't get on Ozempic.
Physical stuff. Just do whatever you want. I also think boxing is fun. Knowing how to throw a punch, and also getting punched in the face. You need to know what that feels like, so it doesn't surprise you. So.
No, you don't. You really don't. You think that dudes that say shit like this, like, oh yeah, bro, you just need to get punched in the face over and over again so that you become desensitized to it. Like, no, man, you're gonna give yourself brain damage. You're giving yourself brain damage. Don't do that. Now, if you're a boxer, I get, if you're like a professional boxer, I get it. Okay, you make money from doing that shit. You do fights, you make hella bank. Okay, great. But if you're just like a normal person, a normal guy, yeah, don't fucking do that shit. Don't box. Don't do MMA. You are going to don't play football. You are going to give yourself brain damage. It is going to happen. If I get it. A lot of people played football in high school. Okay, then they grow up. Don't keep playing it. Okay, if you don't make it in the NFL, if you don't make it on a college team, like, just give up. Okay, I'm sorry. It's not for everyone, and you are going to give yourself brain damage. Okay, you already have. If you already have, there's nothing you can do about it. That doesn't mean that you should give yourself more brain damage. Okay, so give it up. Don't do it. Okay, don't get punched in the face. Stop getting punched in the face. It's dumb. It's not a good idea. Okay, it just isn't. And no, it's not gonna make you more prepared in a street fight. Not that should really fucking matter. Cause yeah, okay, great. It means I can do. I'm marginally more likely to win in a street fight. Great. Okay, but not really, because if you get sucker punched, okay, it's going to daze you. Okay, no matter what. You're not just immune from it because you gave yourself a bunch of fucking brain damage already. No. The best way to be prepared for a street fight is to be armed, okay? Unfortunately, it's not to fucking hit yourself in the head over and over again, dumbass. It's to fucking shoot the motherfucker. That's it.
It just makes you less fragile. It makes you live in the moment. You're not worried
makes
about
you less fragile
right now. So, next, family. Make sure you respect.
I would say that people with brain damage are more fragile. Okay, that's why I found that funny.
This is a tough one for some people because in our generation it can be a little bit tougher because the generational divide is very big. And also I know some people have messed up parents, truly and genuinely, like them getting beaten up or something and abused as children, but that message isn't for them. If that's you have to protect yourself though. But for the vast majority of people who just have normie parents and they maybe don't get it, so to say, or they're just a bit annoying, you just need to view them as humans. These people, they did the best they could in a world that changed incredibly fast and very rapidly. Don't hold on to anger for your parents. It would always just hold you back in life, even in other facets of your life. Resentment.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with this, You only get one set of parents. They're not perfect. In fact, if they're like most people, they'll be shitty to you. Often. So you know, you kind of have to grade them on a curve. You know, but it's hard because you don't know everybody's parents. Okay, so ask people about their experiences with their parents. See what others have to say about their lived experience, and judge your parents based on that. You know, I get, and you know, you do also have to keep in mind, and I know people will like probably tell me this if enough people watch this video, but it's all relative. You know, if you talk to people about this, you're only gonna get perspectives typically from our society, maybe broader Western society, but like, you know, the parenting that we do here is different from other places all over the world. Okay, for better or for worse. So you are kind of getting a narrow perspective there, but still, you know, I think that scrutinizing your parents and the way that they raised you is very important. Okay, it doesn't mean that you should like cut them off necessarily just because they did a bad job. I think that you should really only cut them off if, you know, like he was saying, like they abuse you. Okay, but one thing that I always like to remind people about our parents is that they have lead poisoning, okay? And you need to keep that in mind. All right, so, and this brings me back to what I was saying a second ago, right? When you talk to other people about their parents, ask them how old their parents are. Okay, because how old you are right now directly contributes to how much lead poisoning you have. Okay, our parents, they had, like I said, they have lead poisoning. It poisoned their brains. Okay, it affected them neurologically. All of our parents. Okay, some or even most marginally. Many people of our parents' generation, they got lead poisoning probably pretty bad. Okay, if they grew up in an urban area, place with a lot of cars, you know, it's a big deal. Okay, I'm trying not to downplay it. Okay, like the lead poisoning thing, very important.
It's very heavy to carry through your life, so just put it down. Forgive people for their flaws. It doesn't mean you have to go and talk to them again if they're so mean to you that you don't talk to them, but you should forgive them. You know, you'll be shocked at how much more mature you are when you stop blaming them and you start loving them for the flawed people that they are. You know, so next, the mind. You need to sharpen your mind. Study stuff that you're interested in. Don't just scroll through headlines. You actually take a deep dive and read stuff. This involves getting off of Twitter, and it involves getting off of YouTube and not listening to what I say. You know, go read a book or something. I like politics, and I like economics, and I like military history, so I just read them for fun. So just find whatever you like and just study it. You should be well studied. When you read books more often or any academic material, you're going to become more grounded, and you're also going to grow your vocabulary. So there's a reason the education system is garbage, by the way. They just want you to be kind of retarded. They want you inarticulate. Have you seen the shit in school? Like, some of these fucking kids can't even read. They want you to be unable to express your thoughts.
No, a lot of kids can't read. It's crazy. Some people graduate high school without being able to read. They graduate while being illiterate. They graduate high school. It's so insane to me. This happens in my state. Documented cases. The state of education in this country, he's precisely correct. Okay, it is intentional. It is to keep us uneducated. It is to keep us dumb. It's to keep us docile. That is why. Okay, so if you are stupid, don't feel bad. Okay, be angry. Be angry that you're stupid. Because somebody else was pulling the strings. And I know who it was. Okay, it's the rich people. It's the rich people. That's who it is.
Your descent doesn't matter.
I'm telling you.
Valuable shit in school. They were taught.
It's the mega
all those
rich.
books that Robert Maxwell owned, whatever company that was called, McGraw-Hill, I think. But anyways, when you can speak
and
clearly
it's
and
the
you're studying these
politicians,
books,
of course,
and when you know
that they're
history,
paying
and when you
off.
understand how economies actually work, you become a threat to the system, whether you know it or not. Even if you're just one guy, and you become a lot more confident. So I think you should just be well studied. Find your little autistic interest and just be really good at it. I think it's really good to just generate knowledge. Now, next for men specifically, I know women watch this channel, but it's for dating. If you're trying to talk to a girl and she isn't interested, or especially if she rejects you in some sort of like mean or rude, dismissive manner, don't take it personally. Listen to me here. You are not worthless. Modern dating is a disaster. It's a marketplace that has been totally skewed by shitty dating apps and social conditioning, or in other words, hoflation. So if she says no, just walk away with your head high. Don't take that kind of stuff too hard. Don't chase someone who doesn't value you anyways. Why would you want to be with someone you have to convince to like you? You know what I mean? So just keep going. Focus on your mission and the gym and your studies.
Yeah, I mean, this is good advice. It's basic advice, but I think it's advice that a lot of men, and even women, okay, but men in particular, need to hear. You know? Yeah, don't fucking... Who cares if someone doesn't like you? Who cares? It doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't change your life at all. Not really. The only thing that it can affect is your own ego, your own self-perception. Okay, but that's all bullshit anyway. So, just don't worry about it. You know, oh no, the girl doesn't like me.
Kind of woman, like the one that values you. You know, whenever you go find her, she will respect a man on a mission. Right? That is so important. So she won't respect a beggar. Don't be a beggar. Now, next, don't be too hard on yourself.
Well, these are things that you should look for in a partner as well. Okay, people that are driven, right? People that have their shit together. These are universally virtuous traits across all genders. Okay, that's it. It really just comes down to, like, these guys, they just say over and over again, yeah, like, women like confidence. Like, no shit, okay? Everybody likes confidence. What the fuck? Yeah, people be liking confidence. Wow.
Cringe moments from the past.
Crazy.
You up at 3 a.m. Everybody has had times where we bought into this lie, or what have you, or you were wrong about something, or maybe you were kind of a libtard when you were younger, or we were weak about whatever, something happened. You didn't know any better back then, and that's fine. You were just younger and you didn't know any better, but now you've woken up. A lot of you have the red pill if you're watching this channel.
Woke.
You've fully ingested it, and you see the truth. So don't hate on the old you. Don't get caught up in all that stuff. Just be glad that you've grown. So don't get hung up on the past. So this leads me to the last part of the video. This is the most important part. Never give up and remember to pray. We are up against a beast of a machine that seems omnipotent. They have all the media and the banks and the schools and the government, and it's easy to feel small.
Yeah, so you should take all the help you can get. Okay, but instead, the other day, you were saying how all of the woketards aren't anti-Israel in the way that you want them to be. Because they sympathize for the brown people. Or whatever. You know, the victims of the Israeli genocide. Yeah, man. You're right. Like, we are up against a beast. You know, that's correct. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. And take allies where you can get them. But
if you watch this channel, just know that you're literally a normal person compared to the people that hate us. You know, think about the people who call you evil all the time, like especially with all the ICE stuff going on. Think about the people who want to destroy your heritage and your future. A lot of these people are miserable, and they're overly medicated, and they're confused, and they're also self-destructive. They are fighting against nature itself. You are fighting for nature and for order and for truth. You are the sane person. Do not let these people gaslight you into thinking that you're some kind of crazy psycho. If you watch this channel, like if you're not hate watching, which a surprising amount of people do, you're literally a normal person. So you have the truth on your side, and if you are a believer, which I think you should be, you have God on your side. There is no defeat unless you quit.
Yeah, bro. Woketards, God is not on their side. Let me tell you something, man. Jesus Christ, communist. He's a fucking communist, bro. I'm telling you, I would love to debate you about that.
Yeah, by the way, all the Epstein stuff, these people will pay. So don't get too hung up on that.
Oh, man. Medals, Chads win again. Oh, man. Poor Jimmy. That's tough.